When I was young, meaning a lot younger than I am now and probably your ages, artichokes you only saw for a very short period of time. Now it seems that you can get artichokes most of the year because we're getting them from all over the world. So it wasn't that you could get these foods all the time. So the holidays really meant a time for specialty cooking. So when we would get artichokes, it was like twice a year for 2 different holidays that we could have them. And boy, I would wait anxiously for that to happen. So how are we doing? Stuffed good?
Stuffed very well.
Stuffed very well. You know what? Push them open a little bit more and force some of that stuffing in. Kara, you got dodged the shooting stuffing. Yeah, just keep pushing it in and push it all on the outside of those leaves, all around, okay? So a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to brown up our garlic, actually not too brown, but just kind of golden. Going to move, excuse my arm there, Kara. Just switching out the breadcrumbs. Getting my broccoli rabe over here. Broccoli rabe is actually a pretty quick dish. Once the garlic is sauteed a little bit and a nice golden brown, I'm going to add the broccoli rabe. Looks like a lot of broccoli rabe, but it's actually going to collapse way down when we start cooking it. This will make kind of a splatter in the pan. Put a tiny bit of the water to make a little steam. Andrew, would you put that in the sink? Once again, we're going to season with some salt and pepper. Little extra pinch. Now, Uncle Louie likes his a little spicy, so we're going to put a little bit of red pepper. Just push that down a little bit. And actually, I think because we have so much, I'm going to add another little bit of liquid, just a little tiny bit of chicken stock. And I'm going to move this one to the back again. We'll get that one going back here. While I'm here, I'll take a quick peek at my chipolline. Okay. Next up, we want to cook those artichokes. Did I ever tell you guys a story about cooking the artichokes and Uncle Walter?
I don't think so.
My brother, who lives in California now, came home for a holiday, and my mother thought, wow, I'll cook all of the favorite things that we all like. So she made artichokes. And after we got done cooking them, my brother said to me, I don't like stuffed artichokes. And I said, what do you mean? We love artichokes. And he said, no. He said, Mom used to take a plain artichoke and always keep it for me. Now, when I cook artichokes, I take my artichokes, and after they're stuffed like this, I put them in a pot to steam with some water, and I try and get them to stand up the best I can. And they never stay real well, so I always remember my mother taking one plain, just like this, and putting it in the middle. And then she can stand all the others up and use that one in the middle as kind of a wedge to hold the other ones up. A little bit tricky to get it in at first, but you work them in just like this, and you push them down, and then you just adjust them all so that they stand up straight and none of them are in the little bit of water, because the water is going to start to boil, and it's going to have them steam. So I don't like them without the stuffing. So I used to put a cup in. I thought my mother just put that one in there to hold it, and you know, whoever got that one, that was the last to go without the stuffing, the last one you would eat. So I would put a cup in the middle, and then I would start to cook my artichokes just like that, and they would steam. And actually, I just want to, again, put a little seasoning over the top. So my brother said to me, he said, Mom used to always put a plain artichoke in the middle for me. He said, why do you think she's not doing that anymore? And when I asked her about it, she said, oh my God, I forgot. She had forgotten too. I never knew why the plain artichoke was in there, but my brother did. And I come to find out that he doesn't like prepared lasagna also. And my mother used to leave some of the lasagna noodles, which I thought were just the broken ones, off to the side, and he would eat those instead of eating the lasagna. So all these things were actually like traditions that we had kind of forgotten about when he moved away, but they were really done for a reason. Okay, I'm just doing a quick little cleanup here. Next up, since we have that stuffing already made, so we have our artichokes will start steaming. Actually, we'll get one more thing going on this stove that has to cook for a while. We're going to make some mushrooms. Got the mushrooms all cleaned. So why don't you guys put those mushrooms in the pot. Got some water and some white vinegar. I know we have a whole lot going on here. Got those all in there, Andrew? Great. Yep. Put that right in the sink. Kara, dump this in here. Now we're going to add some white vinegar to the mushrooms. And these are just plain white button mushrooms. Put the whole thing in. Great. I'm going to put some water also. Throw that in the sink, Andrew. And that's it. Water and vinegar. They're going to be like pickled, called a marinade. But they're going to cook, so the marinade cooks in, and the vinegar will cook right into them. Now, Mom likes the marinated mushrooms. So I have to make sure and always do that for her. Okay, so we have our chipolline going. I'll take another peek at those. Looking good. We have our broccoli rabe, which I need to take a up, starting to collapse down nicely. Going to lower that down a little bit. Mushrooms and artichokes. They're in pretty good shape. Next up, we want to do some baked clams. Clams sometimes are a little difficult to open. You want to get your knife right in the seam of the clam and just push right through, just like this. And that pops it open. And then we take the knife and we separate the clam from the shell on both sides. So that clam is nice and loose. We rip one shell, one side off, and we keep them just like that. Now we take some of the same stuffing. This is an easier way of doing it though, because I have the spoon, which is about the same size as the clam. So I just take the spoon and I just spoon that right over each clam. And just kind of pack it in, just like that. So let's get these guys. Andrew, can you fill the rest of these clams? And Kara can use, instead of dirtying another knife, we'll just use this. Take a little piece of butter, and actually that's a little too much. A nice half of that. And just put a piece of butter right on top of each clam. Just make sure it stays right on top. After Andrew fills them, you put the butter right on top. Right. That's it. Oh, yeah, it falls off. It'll be, if it falls off, just get another piece.